By defining the structure of our blocks, we already did the hardest part. So all we have to do now is use Pinegrow components to make these sections into blocks. So let's start with navbar. We select it in the tree, and then in Act panel, Act like Actions, we add Define Component Action by clicking on the name. And each component needs a unique ID. And the best is to use a prefix that is unique to the library. So we'll use pine dot and then something that describes the component. So navbar in this case. And we give it a display name that doesn't have to be unique. But of course it has to make sense to be useful. And then we have an option to update this instance when we run components quick update or update the whole project. But with blocks we want something more simple. We just want to define blocks, and then we want to have like a library from where we place them on the page, and then we want to be able to freely customize them, change the layout, and not worry about keeping them compatible with the source blocks from where they came from. So in this project we will disable update instances for all our components. So okay, we define the component, and then we have to run update to let Pinegrow scan the project and add the components into lib panel. So we can see our navbar component is here in PineTeam section. We can also define image instead of just text label. So on component definition, we select take component photo, and now we have the preview image that it's easier to work with and to recognize the block. Okay, so let's just continue. Intro, define component, pine.intro, and deselect update instances, update, and take component photo. So let's check the lib panel. You see, there it is. And now we just repeat the process for every block. Define component, give it ID. So now we are doing these three colorful boxes. Let's call them boxes. And disable update instances. Okay, update and take component photo. And next one, let's call it about. So from here on it will kind of get repetitive and I guess not so much fun to watch. But still, let's go through everything together. You can also skip to the end. Nothing really exciting will happen. Let's call it action. Take photo. Carousel. Update. So let's just define actions and then we'll take photo later. So we don't have to press update every time we define a component. We can define a bunch of components and then just do update once. Testimonials. Pine.vision. Pine.team. Pine effects. So we have freedom when we decide about the name, so it can be, the name can reflect the content, or we can choose the name to reflect like the layout or the general use of the element. That's basically up to us, but again it's good to be consistent within one library. Contact. And the last one, footer. Thanks if you're still watching. Okay, so now let's update. Check the lib panel. So okay, the last one with image is action, so let's just click here and take components, photos, testimonials. Okay, so one thing, you see testimonials, it's kind of broken. So when we take the photo, the element should be visible on the page. Actually, Pinegrow tries to make it visible, but there might be some issues there. So it's better if we make sure that the component is visible when we take its photo. Services. News. Contact. And the last one, footer. So now what we got, we got a nice set of blocks with images, and we are almost ready to use them. Just one more step to do, and we'll do that in the next video. And of course, don't forget to save the document.